Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's your boy 3 Stacks in this thing, representing Team King of Games, of course, all day, every day, baby. So today I'm going over something that, you know what? This is Euphoria, man. We're going over my Herald of Perfection deck, but it's updated with, wait for it, the new structure deck support. Alright, so there's a few cards that I wanted to tweak around with. This is not Herald of Perfection counter fairies. I know a lot of people have been asking me about that, like literally today, because they know that the structure that came out, and everybody knows how hyped I've been about it. People know me. They know that I love fairies and I love rituals, and this is a combination of both. But this build does not abuse the counter traps or anything like that. It's just using a couple cards out that structure deck to actually extend your Herald plays to the point where you can negate more cards than the cards that you already had in your hand. So if you start with 5, you can actually negate 8 different plays, which is insane. Nobody ever can, have 8 cards in their hand if Herald's on the board. So you're obviously going to have more negates than they do have cards, and you'll just win right off the bat. And of course, in addition to that, they got to play around the barrier statue. So protects you from kaijus. It's a really, really solid build. I went right back to my Ties of the Brethren build for this one because we've got one new target that I think makes a difference, and that is Powered Angel Valkiria. But we're going to go ahead and hop right into the deck list. So, for monsters, your bread and butter, obviously you're playing 3 copies of Herald of Perfection. The monster is just the definition of anti-meta. There's no deck that he can't beat, so long as they cannot, kaiju the monster. And I think probably Solemn Strike would be a thing too, but you can always read it. And the way you play around Solemn Strike is obviously, let the play go through. They're trying to bait you with the Solemn Strike. I played this deck for too long. I can read it. But Herald is just so insane. And the deck that he's ran in can consistently pump him out. Like, I brought Herald back off of Ritual Sanctuary when he got strike. I've linked summoned with him and then brought him back off of Ritual Sanctuary. You can summon double Herald. Like, there's so many different ways to get him back. One card that I am missing in this deck list is Soul Charge. And I really need to just take the Soul Charge out of my Blue Eyes and put it in here. 3 copies of Princess Katana. Hiya! She's dope, man. You have to have her in your hand. She's just as crucial as Herald. You need these 2 cards and obviously the ritual. That's how you make your Herald this way. Granted, with different levels, with level 2s and level 4s, you can summon Herald another way, but not without taking a -2, and I don't like that. Moving forward with the monsters, 3 copies of Star Seraph Scepter. The best combo for going second is obviously Stick Chair. Break the board, make the Herald, continue negating their plays. There are a lot of link summoning options. Like one game, I actually stick chaired into a Scepter after the second Sovereignty, so the Scepter was able to resolve because it was a win effect. If the first Sovereignty would have brought him out, I would have been salty, but the second Sovereignty that got summoned, especially this guy, I netted another search, and I just made the board load. I could have done the double pop with Sovereignty, but I saw more value in the board load simply because there's something that was like in my way that I really needed to get over right now, which was the Sleeper. The Sleeper had double protection. He had the what's it called? The man, what is that freaking field spell called? The Spiral Resort. And it was bad enough that I didn't have Herald of Perfection on board. I had no Herald, so I had like no real protection. So I just really I just went for the board load and I took the Sleeper and then I used this effect and it was just crazy. Like, oh my goodness, it was a really, really good day. 3 copies of Sovereignty. The Stick Chair, I call it Staff and Throne. This is the combo. This deck resolves it more than any other deck can because this is searchable even more now because of the new support that just got released today. And then pairing that, we have 3 copies of my Helping Hand, Handy Manny. This is my go-to play. If I can't normal summon my stick, I basically am going to normal summon him and, search out my Herald pieces, summon Herald, go Barrier Statue off the Ties of Brethren play. It's a really, really standard opening. I like to see it, and the Pot of Desires helps me to get there. Then we're playing 2 copies of Honest. Honest is just going to help you to not only beat over monsters that Herald can't touch. Sometimes you got to summon Herald and attack because they can beat over his defense. But Honest also protects your Barrier Statue. It just helps you to ulti-K. You'd just be surprised. Having a searchable Honest is so handy for a lot of your pushes. And then for the one-ups of the deck, we're playing 1 copy of Power Angel Valkiria. Yes, she's an amazing card, and I do really like her a lot. But the thing is, I really don't want to see more than 1 of her. I can always revive it off of Ritual Sanctuary. I can Firewall, loop it back. I don't see any more value than 1. Yes, she is a great card, and she was that icing on the cake. It's a nice addition to the deck. You basically, what you want to do is either search her off of Ben 10, then normal summon her, or you want to special her from your deck off of Ties of the Brethren. And she is a hard once per turn, so multiples would never help anyways. And I really don't want to see the card in my opening hand. I'm not trying to like normal it and then make Herald and pass. I want to normal something that searches, like Manju. You know, I know normal the Scepter. Those are the normal summons I want to go for. And we are taking in one Eva. Eva is an insane combo. If you can resolve the Eva under the Ties, like when you go Ties and you special summon Valkiria and Barrier Statue, obviously you already searched out the Honest. If you already had Honest, then you got Honest. Either way, you're going to search it out. You pretty much, you use your Benton to search out the Eva. She's Princess Katana. Her name is not Benton. You search out the Eva. What happens then is, this is an if effect, and she's an if effect. Neither can miss timing, so your Herald will negate something. You'll pitch Eva for cost, and then on separate chain links, you have Eva Chainlink 2 and Power Angel Valkyria Chainlink 1. Or however you want to do it. They both search, so you can put the chain links accordingly. You can go Valkyria. Valkyria search for a Star Seraph. You know, either one if you didn't already have the combo. If not, then you'll just search, you know, whatever you want. And she'll search for any light fairy from your deck to your hand. Then Eva will banish 2 other fairy monsters from your field or your graveyard. And then you'll add up to 2, or you could just add 1 of these copies. And these are the targets for Eva that I'm playing in the deck, which are Cyber Petite Angel and Herald of Orange Light. This is my Herald of Orange Light. It's not from the structure deck. It's the DT one that I like. It's my OG, man. So Petite Angel is really, really good in this deck. Obviously, it can be summoned. You get its effect to search out Cyber Angel Benton. It's an additional copy piece, additional copy of Benton. Necessarily, basically, an additional combo piece. It's more ways to get to Benton. It does have some really, really cool synergy with the Ritual Sanctuary, because you just recycle 2 spells, special it, net a free fairy, and then, you know, discard a spell, search again. Like, there's a lot of ways you can just replenish, rejuvenate. This protects you from hand traps. Obviously, it's a searchable hand trap that stops any hand traps. I don't like the neg that you take from it, but it does pay for itself in the long run with Ritual Sanctuary. So if you open up the standard way, if you go Herald, Barrier Statue off the Ties of the Brethren, summon this. Like I said, you just want to search this, pitch it, negate, get 3 fairies off of 1, because this will search and this will search. So you have 3 negates in addition to, you know, the 4 or 5 that you have. So there's just no way for them to win. And you can have some crazy follow-up plays the next turn if you happen to discard this to the grave, bring it back off Ritual Sanctuary, you know, just go off with Omega. Do some really, really cool stuff. So the monster lineup is very, very interesting because there's a lot of intricate combos that you can do now in the deck. It's a little bit fragile because if you happen to draw one of these, Eva has 1 less search target, but nonetheless, you can still resolve the Eva, and I do like that. I think outside of searching, you know, by pitching her from hand, there are times that you can force Eva through by just, you know, special summoning her from the grave with Ritual Sanctuary, recycling 1 spell, link summon with her, and you'll still get her effect if she's sent to the graveyard and just combo off that way. Either way, you're always able to resolve Eva. So she's like a, I guess, package deal. She comes with targets, and these are the best targets in my opinion. If there was just level 2 or lower in general and they weren't light fairies, obviously Yugioh Dagger would be a cool target if we weren't playing Ties of the Brethren. And of course the Barrier Statue, because pretty much if it's not Trick Stars, it's not playing Yu-Gi-Oh! And I really like that. So that's going to sum up the monster lineup. The deck has evolved. This is Herald Variation number 52. 53. 53. We have built the deck 53 different times. It's just, I don't know which variation's better. I wouldn't say one's better than the other. I'm still on that journey where I haven't discovered which one's the best. I've been through a lot. I even did an actual Herald Counter Fairy build before the new structure deck came out today. It just ran Guarding Ariadne, a couple Scoldings, Strike Warning, and it was just trying to resolve Stick Chair, popping Ariadne. It was really, really dope. The main thing with the Scolding was just to negate Strike, because Strike was really prevalent at the time, and I didn't want to lose my Herald to Strike, so I was basically evolving my deck in ways to play the format. And now I'm really, really enjoying it. I can never not have fun with the deck, because it's got a lot more combos now. There's a lot more that you can do to just summon Herald and pass. Like, even the Yugioh Dagger, it just enables really, really cool, like, plays where you can actually make boards. You know, Herald is not a board. It's just summon a boss monster and play Protect the Castle. But with cards like Yugioh Dagger, you know, Power Angel Valkyria, Eva, you have combos and you can make boards. And there's a lot of ways you can go balls deep on the plays. Moving forward to the spells. We've got the preps, 3 copies of pre-prep and 2 regular preps. Konami they really need to stop playing games and just put this card to 3. There's no reason why it shouldn't be at 3. There are no ritual decks topping. There's not even going to be a ritual deck unless it's this one that's going to top in any event. I think with Pendulum Magicians being, you know, the next best deck, and basically all they really have space to run is Ash without interfering with their engine, I feel like my deck is going to be really, really powerful. I actually, depending on how things shape up for the meta, that is going to determine basically, you know, whether or not I'm going to play this deck for this next format. Because the next format, you know, I'm really, really looking forward to it. I'm actually, I'm really, really excited about how things are changing, how the spirals are getting hit, and how Herald of Perfection can actually be the deck that I play again. And I've just been missing it, man. You guys have no idea how much I just sit here and think about this deck. Like, why does Droll, Ash, Gamma, Ogre all have to be in one deck? I play them all in one deck, so I understand the feeling. 3 copies of Tides, it's the best play. If you can't summon Herald, you can still make plays with this card. So it just gives you an additional line of play. So you're not really running on a linear fashion. And if they, like, for example, if they Ash the pre-prep, which, you know, honestly, I would never play Tides as an Ash bait. Just because the 2,000 life point cost. I'm pretty sure you could still special summon. Because it says after this card resolves, you know, no special summoning. But the thing is, you know, if they don't Ash it and it does resolve, you can't special summon Herald after that, and then you still wasted 2,000 life points. So, like, the problem is sometimes this gets Ash, and this is always your follow-up play, which helps. And, of course, you want to play the pot sometimes first just to bait out the Ash, because nobody would never not hit it, because they just don't want you to get the 2 cards, but sometimes people don't take the bait. But, yeah, I'm playing 3 pot because this deck really, it has no problem with getting to what it needs. The board always ends on Herald, no matter what, every turn ends on Herald. And Pot of Desires, basically, all it's here to do is just draw more fairies. And once I end up with enough fairies, like, I'm not going to lose the duel because I have more cards. I have more negates than you do cards in your hand. And I feel like that's beyond broken because that is just like, there's no deck that can really do that. Like, some decks open up in a way where it's like, dang, this is nearly impossible. But there's always a chance to play around it. Like, for example, you know, Dark Hole and evenly match in one hand. A Kaiju and evenly match in one hand. Kaiju and a board wipe. You know, stuff like that. But the boards this deck ends on, it's like, Herald Barrier Statue, for example, those 2 cards. You can't even Kaiju. Nobody's playing the light Kaiju. So that's already one thing. You can't Kaiju the Herald. And then when you have so many negates that you can't bait the Herald, because if you play all your cards in hand, I'll still have more at the end of it. It's just crazy. So Pot of Desires is absolutely necessary 3 of. I don't care if it's a hard once per turn. I want to see it every single first turn. I have to see these cards in my hand. That's why I'm playing 3 of all of them. And then 3 copies of Las Vegas and 2 copies of Optimus Prime to search it out. This field spell is like one of my favorites, honestly. It's like this one and I think this one and Diagram are like my 2 favorite field spells right now. They're really, really, really good. They give you never-ending searches as long as you can protect them. This card actually can generate a +1, not the turn it's resolved. You can do the Metal Force Fusion. I did that for 6 months and I stopped playing it just because I was trying to like basically eliminate any situational cards in my deck, and that was one of them. But basically, if you can search off of it and then special summon from the grave in the same turn, you get the +1. So say, for example, you have 4 spells in grave. Like, I did this going second, right? I normal Star Chef Scepter, I search Sovereignty, I use Effect Search, and then I crash Scepter into a monster, use this, special summon it back, did the whole stick chair combo, went insane on the pluses. The field spell is just amazing. It's like Monster Reborn and a search, and it recycles any spell, so it puts back your preps. You have never-ending resources with this, with Herald, with Firewalls, which I'll show you how the deck makes Firewalls. And then 3 Dons to pretty much sum up the spells in the main deck. Every single spell is good. This deck doesn't actually draw bad hands, believe it or not. If you draw blue cards, it's amazing. Concerning the monsters, basically, the only way you could really, really brick with this deck is if you drew all of these cards in the same opening hand, right? If you drew those 5, you've bricked, right? This can get you somewhere. This will protect you. Obviously, like, let's say, you know, you normal this, effect to search, you pitch these, and, you know, you get the negate, and then this will trigger, and you'll, like, whatever, if you have targets, right? And that's pretty much it. This is the only way you could brick if you draw all 5 of the 1-up monsters. But even when you draw some of them, they always let you do something. Like, none of these can't do something by themselves. Like, this requires a setup, but these, yeah, you could just make plays. It's really, really good. Now we're going to go to the extra deck, which is kind of updated. 2 Firewalls, Borlo, Decode, Trigate, Akashic, and Proxy. The deck's doing a lot more links because of ties. You set up with your ties really well. Herald always protects the board. Bear Statue makes sure that you can't special any boss monsters anyway. And you know, it's just really downhill because next turn you do a lot of crazy shenanigans. Like the stick chair is gonna happen. I'll show you how you do it at the end of the video. Omega, this was the only level 8 synchro I felt like I could get like maximum value off of. Because outside of like looping, you know, the handbrake thing, it actually recycles any card from the graveyard back to the deck. And also, it fixes those problems where my Pot of Desires banishes like 1 too many Dawn of the Heralds. Or if I banish like 2 Sovereignties, I can't go stick chair, but this will put it back. And then I can just, you know, recycle it from deck to grave, from grave to deck with Omega. So he fixes some of the problems that I've had in the past. He's definitely a really good card. And you just make it off of him. You discard this to negate, special it from grave. Synchro with Herald, make your second Herald. It's a really decent play. The Star Seraph combo, Utopia the Lightning, it just helps. Baguska, when you like don't have Herald or he dies, you just make Baguska. Tornado Dragon, Fairy Cheer Girl. Definitely, I do wish that you can do Herald and Baguska together, but it's just not possible because Herald he activates. Now to show you guys, pretty much. I guess I'll just show you the cards, right, that gets you there. So, let's say, you got this, right? I don't know why, but this is always, like, my standard opening. Like, this is me right here. This is me all day, every day, I'm telling you. So, let's say this is your standard opening, right? Like, you can get there off of these 3 cards, like, no lie. So, we just need a Ties of the Brethren. This is definitely why I'm playing 3 ties. I got to see the card. If you have this card in your hand, this hand is just nuts. So you have these 3 cards. Obviously, you're gonna pre-prep, right? You're gonna get your Herald combo pieces. 3 turn 4. It's a +1, and then you know activate this. You're gonna tribute Pom Pom Girl, Cyber Angel Ben 10, Princess Katana, yeah, and then call your chain links. This is always chain link 2. This is chain link 1, so this banishes itself. Adds her back to hand. Her effect is chain link 1 on resolution. Excuse me, been drinking. Searches out, you know, the monster you want to normal summon, which, let's say, for example, we get Star Seraph Scepter, then we normal him, add Sovereignty, right? Then you're going to play your Ties of the Brethren, targeting the Scepter, and you're going to special summon the Barrier Statue and Valkiria. Now, naturally, you would go for Honest on this, but the funny and cute thing is, Valkiria will search the Honest out, so I'm never searching Honest. Like really, I'm not like special summoning Honest off of ties anymore because Valkyria fixes that problem, and really they're not gonna be able to beat over anything. This was 3 cards, so you basically have 4 negates in hand. If you play it off right, and you pretty much just go effect negate. Power Angel Valkyria, for example, searches out the Scepter. This is how I did the Firewall combo. I'm just showing you guys how I did it. I was playing against my teammate, and this is exactly how it went down. I just negated his life. I ended up just having only the Scepter in my hand for next turn, right? So you draw. It doesn't even matter what you draw. And I already had Ritual Sanctuary up on the field. It's funny that we drew Terraforming, but anyways. So Ritual Sanctuary is up on the field. I just wanted to show you guys how you make the board off of the, the 3-card combo. And Ritual Sanctuary was up on the field. I had the Loaded Grave of spells. We were going in that game. I was really going to town on my friend. Then we're gonna normal summon the Scepter, and this is I'm telling you, this is exactly how it went down. It was just so dope. I didn't even think my deck could link summon like that. So you get the Scepter, and then you go ahead and you overlay these. You leave the Barrier Statue, right? Because worst case scenario, if this gets striked, you can still keep them from special summoning themselves. So you go for the Deltaros, the pop 2 draw. So pop 2 draw 2. The cards you draw don't really matter. We're just showing you for the sake of example. Then you pop a 3rd card, right? And then because I normaled Scepter that turn, I didn't even do the stick chair combo. The Scepter just lived because I'm telling you, this was insane. Like, he would not play Yu-Gi-Oh! I just didn't let him. Ritual Sanctuary shuffles, right? Specials this light monster. And what you're going to do, you're going to put this right under where Deltaros is in the extra monster zone for a reason. So we could say this is column number like 2, right? And then, of course, you do the combo, you chain, effect, draw, search out the other Scepter, the other Sovereignty, which should be the, actually the final Sovereignty, because one got searched first turn. Then, you special it, you draw, And then what happens here is you link everything except for this that's actually pointing, this is actually in the same column, right? And so what I did here, you link Herald stays, you link these, right? These 4 effect monsters. You're still special summoning a light monster, so you're not cheating under the barrier statue. You're summoning Firewall right here. These all go to the grave, right? And I had monsters in hand, trust me. So I was just like, I ended up special summoning like 2 Manjus, right? So we could pretend like these are the Manjus. We're just playing off exactly how it went down. So I linked with Herald and Scepter, and I summoned the Proxy Dragon. And we did, you know, the effect of Firewall. We special summoned the Manju from hand. We linked with that. Manju went to grave. Then we put Trigate here, and then effect of Firewall, special this. And while Firewall was co-linked, I activated his effect, targeted my Herald that was already summoned that turn, added it to my hand, and then we linked again, right? And we made the second Firewall Dragon, and then this Firewall Dragon's effect triggered, and we special summoned the Herald of Perfection. And then, you know, we still had this one to bounce. So it was a really, really dope combo, and I just liked how we did it because you used the Herald and you still brought him back. It was really, really cool. I'm not saying that this is something that you're supposed to do. It was just, I did it because I can, and I just wanted to have fun with it, just see how far I could get with it. And after I did it, I was like, all right, we'll put the Firewalls in the extra deck because this deck is going in. Like, it's going to town on people. But yeah, that concludes the deck profile. And, you know, just a small little combo that I did on my homeboy. God bless you guys. Thank you so much for supporting the channel and my dream. I love y'all more than you know, believe it or not. You're all my brothers and sisters in Christ. And I show compassion to pretty much even people that aren't on my channel. Like, you know, me and my teammates and all my friends, we try to do the same. You know, we're the same way around each other. And we just don't change. We treat people the way we want to be treated. And you guys do the same for us. You know, you guys are really, really kind, compassionate to us. Y'all, like, support us. Y'all, like, promote us. Tell all your friends about us. And we talk about you guys all the time. Like, some of you guys be saying some funny stuff in the comments. And I've been making jokes like, did you see this boy say? Like, it'd be hilarious, man. Like, you guys really crack me up. But yeah, on that note, I think I'm going to go ahead and call it a night. Thank you guys very much yet again. And you'll be hearing from me soon. Peace out.